My next guest takes on Marcus Govan at HFC 32 coming up here February 11th. Dominic Reyes joins me here on the program for the very first time. Dominic, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Glad you could join me here on a Monday evening. And for those who aren't familiar with your backstory, Dominic, how does a nice guy like yourself get involved in a sport like face punching?
I'm really not a nice guy on the inside. I'm real competitive, and I'm hungry, man. I like to hit people a lot. Playing college football, my passion was just crushing people. So this fits right into that.
I can tell. We were talking off air a little bit there. He seemed like a pretty nice guy, and then it just went into like intense mode like right away. So I can totally hear you there. Where did you go to school and play football?
I went to Stony Brook University in New York, and yeah, I had a great time out there. Great experience. I grew up, became a man out there, so it was very great.
And how was that transition going from football to mixed martial arts? Because, a lot of guys that I talk to that sort of make that move, they say the conditioning is a lot different. Was it the same for you?
Conditioning was a lot different, but attention to detail for me was a big thing that crossed over. Being able to watch film and make little tweaks to myself and really watch my opponents and make the adjustments necessary without, too much downtime and figuring it out quickly.
Interesting. And what sort of led you to martial arts, going from football to martial arts?
My brother, Alex Reyes, owns his own gym over here in Victorville, California. He was a two division champ at King of the Cage. And, there's a gym there. Might as well go and train. In my summers when I went to Stony Brook, when I'd come back, I'd train martial arts.
Oh, awesome!
Because I would cross train because it helps with balance and everything. It's really good for football. And in high school, I was a wrestler.
There you go.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's like a nice base to have, especially when you're starting in martial arts, right? Is the wrestling base? Yeah,
it's a perfect base. Look at all the great champions over time and now, wrestlers.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Were you a fan of the sport before you started training in it?
I was a fan. I've been to one UFC event in my life, and that was Chuck Liddell and
oh, nice.
Randy.
Oh, geez.
That was a good
what a first UFC to go to. That was a pretty awesome fight.
It was electric, man. I was hooked just going there and feeling the energy. I got that feeling in college football, and I want that feeling again as a fighter. There's no other feeling in the world than that electricity.
So were you like a Chuck guy going forward? Like, was he someone you always like watching fight after that?
Yeah, Chuck's always someone I looked up to. He's so electric, his fighting style is so exciting. Everybody, who doesn't love Chuck, So,
No, I agree with you, man. You're speaking my language here. Chuck was a guy that I know when I first started watching it, he was a guy that was really, the it guy at the time. So you got to love Chuck Liddell when he's fighting. Let's talk a bit more about your career here. What do you do, for work besides, mixed martial arts? What sort of pays the bills outside of fighting?
I work for a high school around here, Oak Hills High School.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I do tech support for the entire campus because I got my degree in information systems at Stony Brook. And so I put my degree to use, and I'm real happy with that. It's a good job.
Well, I was going to say the hours must be pretty good for you as far as being able to train. Like, I guess, do you train in the morning before work, or do you do it after? How does that work?
Well, I train after work. I train in the evening because I work in the morning. It's like 7 a.m. to 3:30, so I get off, and then I have the rest of the day to train, and that's what I do.
Excellent. Do people at the school know what you do? Like when they see, because IT, isn't it like the old saying? Like a lot of the IT guys are kind of like nerdy, right? But you certainly are pretty imposing. I'd imagine they must know what you do.
Yes, everyone's pretty aware of it. They're all very supportive and proud of me. And yeah, usually IT and tech guys are pretty nerdy, but I'm standing up for the IT guys.
Yeah, you're breaking the stereotype right here, right?
Yeah. Heck yeah. I was a college football player, and I was the first guy in my university to get my degree that played football as well.
Oh, excellent.
So,
good for you, man.
Yeah.
And it must Well, and I was going to say too, it must be a nice sort of like, base for you because, a lot of fighters, sometimes they'll go in, they don't have that backup plan. It seems like you have a solid career behind you, if fighting doesn't work out or, you still have something, you don't have to worry about money too much.
Yeah, man, you always got to have a plan for life. Anything could happen anytime. So you always got to have a plan. You can't just go around with all your eggs in one basket. You can, but it's pretty devastating if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Now, I was looking at your record here. I saw you made your pro debut in 2014. You fought twice in 2015, and then only once last year. Has it been difficult getting fights, especially with your division and especially with your record here, 4-0? Very impressive.
Thank you. And yes, that's exactly why. I was looking for fights all year long, and nobody would sign the bout agreement. So, I continue to train, continue to evolve. That's the best thing about me is I'm young and I'm constantly evolving. I'm trying to get better every day. I'm working on my jits. I'm working on my striking. So what you see in the cage every time I go in there is a vast improvement on what you saw before. And that's what makes me so dangerous. It makes guys concerned about fighting me. It's because they don't know what they're going to get,
Absolutely. Let's talk about the matchup here. Marcus Govan, a fellow guy who has a very good record like yourself. How do you see yourself matching up against him?
I feel like I match up real well against Marcus. He's a real tough guy. I have respect for him. But I'm a lifelong athlete. I've been doing this my whole life. This isn't my first rodeo. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the challenge. I'm excited, to fight somebody who's tough, who's going to push me so I could showcase my skills and, hopefully elevate to the next level.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, especially with his record and everything else. It's one of those wins that people will look at and say, hey, he wasn't fighting tomato cans, he was fighting tough guys. So definitely like the matchup for you there from that perspective. Now, as far as training camp goes, who are some of the people helping you get ready for this fight?
I spent a couple weeks out at Muscle Farm in Denver, Colorado with Curtis Blades.
Nice. Yeah, I know the connection there. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Yeah, who else are you training with?
Yeah. And then now I'm over here training with my brother Alex Reyes at his gym, Cage Combat. A couple of my training partners, Brian, and just my guys over here. I got a great group of guys around me who their main focus is to get me ready. And you couldn't ask for a better training camp when it comes to that.
Yeah. And the reason my face kind of lit up there, your manager is Matt Leon, who manages Curtis Blades. And I know he's brought a lot of the guys under his management banner out to Muscle Farm to train with, Curtis and that great team over there. What was it like going over there and being able to train with them? Because it's pretty high level out there in Colorado.
It was awesome, man. Those guys are all great guys. So, we all blended perfectly. We all worked our asses off. When I first got out there, the elevation was tough, man. But, it wasn't too tough. I picked it up, and it was good to see the level that I need to be at to be where someone like Curtis is at, the UFC level, watching TJ move around and how hard he works, and seeing Neil Magny, being able to spar some rounds with him and being able to see the level and not exactly compare myself, but kind of see where I'm at and just kind of see that I'm doing the right things where I'm at here.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you about that. Your confidence must have sort of skyrocketed being able to train with these guys and know that, you're hanging in there and, doing quite well training with them.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I took away from it. I took that away from it. I felt really good coming home and get right into the camp. That started off my camp for this fight. So when I came back, I've just been rolling ever since, and I feel great about this one. We have a great game plan, and it's going to be good, man. It's going to be a fun fight.
Was there anyone at Muscle Farm that you really bonded with when you were out there? Was it Curtis, I imagine, because you probably trained with him a lot, or were there some other guys you really sort of clicked with out there?
Nick Rourke was the guy I really clicked with the most out there. I stayed with him. He was driving me to practice every day. We were together almost 24/7. So, and he just got a win down in Florida. So, that's to Nick, and just keep it rolling, man.
Now, how's the cut to 205 for you? You guys have to be pretty strict on his diet, or is the weight cut pretty good?
I'm strict on my diet year round, so the weight cut isn't too bad because I stay there. I don't blow up. I don't let myself get to that point. So as a lifelong athlete, I've learned to manage it without having those crazy cravings for like, oh, I'm not training. I'm just going to do nothing, you know? So it's not bad. It's not bad for me.
Well, do you have like cheat days? I imagine not during training camp, but I mean after the fight, are you gonna have like a cheat meal or anything like that?
Yeah, man, chicken nuggets.
Okay, that's your go-to McDonald's chicken nuggets, or the other type.
McDonald's chicken nuggets with hot mustard, man.
Okay,
And a hot dog from somewhere. I don't anywhere.
Okay,
I just want a hot dog.
they got to hook that up in the locker room for you after the fight. You should have negotiated that in your contract.
I should have, man. What the heck?
Yeah.
I'll talk to him after.
Yeah. Now, we talked about your record here, 4-0, very impressive. You get a win here, that'll be 5-0. Those are the types of numbers that, like a UFC or a Bellator would take a look at. Has there been any sort of talks of that now, or are you kind of just, waiting and seeing what happens after this fight?
I mean, that's always the goal. I mean, UFC is always the goal for me. But at this point, I got to take care of business. It's one step at a time, one game at a time, one fight at a time, one day at a time. I got to stay healthy first. Second, I got to win fights. And third, that's it. We got to get there. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, a couple more fights, a couple more wins, and hopefully looking at UFC. So just got to keep doing my due diligence on this one.
Well, I feel like the timing for you is really good, too, because if you look at the light heavyweight division, there's a couple prospects here and there. I mean, Jordan Johnson just fought last weekend. He looks pretty good. But there aren't a lot of prospects at 205. Do you feel like, you being here at this point, it's kind of good timing for a guy like yourself?
I do. Life is all about timing.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah.
And everything's kind of lining up. The stars are aligning. I met Monteleone at the right time. Everything's, coming together. And I've been working my whole life for this, like I've said, and it's lining up. So I'm going to take this opportunity and run with it.
February 11th, what's your prediction? How do you see this fight ending?
It could end anyway. But I could see a TKO. I could see a submission, possible KO. But I don't really like to give predictions. But it's going to be a win, though. That's all I know.
Last question for you here. What do you like doing on your downtime? I mean, we talked all about you as the fighter and, your job in IT and everything else, but what do you like doing when you get that little bit of downtime? Like, are you a Netflix guy? Are you a sports guy? What do you like doing?
I'm pretty well-rounded, man. I'll watch Netflix. I love sports, I like mountain bike riding. I like snowboarding, wakeboarding, dirt bikes, just anything, man. Like going outside. I'll talk about politics. It don't matter.
Okay. Excellent. What are you watching on Netflix right now, and what's your favorite sports team?
We're watching the Netflix. I like watching documentaries, man.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of just like history and nature, and not anything real specific, just kind of everything with Netflix. My favorite sports teams, the Dodgers and the Lakers. I don't have a favorite football team, but Dodgers and Lakers, man. All day.
Fair enough. Have you seen the, just getting back to documentaries, because I love documentaries myself. Have you seen the Foxcatcher documentary that's on Netflix?
I have.
Yeah, that was really well done. All the behind the scenes footage, I was pretty blown away by that.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
There's so many. I like the 30 for 30s as well.
I was just going to say the O.J. Simpson one. Have you seen the 30 for 30 on that?
I haven't.
Oh my God. Listen, okay, whatever you do, after you're done this, it's a 5-part series. So, maybe you won't get through this entire fight camp, but, maybe get a little bit here, a little bit there. It is probably the best 30 for 30 I've seen, and it goes beyond sports. It's insane. There's just some of the stuff they dig up. It's incredible. So again, not just doing an interview here. I'm giving some good recommendations for Netflix. So I definitely write it down. Man. It's called The People, or what's it called? No, I was going to say The People versus O.J. Simpson, but that's the FX show. It's called Made in America. That's the name of it. Made in America or something like that. ESPN 30 for 30. So definitely go bookmark that one up. That'd be my recommendation.
I will.
Awesome.
Definitely will.
And we definitely got to check out your fight. HFC, Hoosier Fight Club 32 coming up here February 11th. Can't thank you enough for joining me here, Dominic. Where can people follow you on Twitter and social media and all that? And if you got any thank yous or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My Instagram's Dom Reyes. It's pretty simple. Twitter's the same thing, Dom Reyes. It's either Dom Reyes or Dom Reyes 24. So it's not too difficult. And I want to thank Stein Chiropractic for helping me keep me healthy this fight. Muscle Farm for having me. Cage Combat Academy. Nutrition Edge for my supplements. Man, can't do without you guys. So thank you.